What's up, everybody? John Eric Polai here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting Bruno Silva at UFC on ABC5. Those fights will be going down this weekend from Jacksonville, Florida. Joined today by Brendan Allen. Brendan, nice to see you again, man. It's been a minute since we last spoke, so really looking forward to catching up and talking some fights here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. You're always welcome here. And let's start today's interview. Before we get into anything related to this fight, I want to back up to your last fight. It was a big moment for you. It was the first time that you got to main event a UFC card. Just what was that experience like to main event, get the win, and everything that goes into all that?
I don't know. I don't put too much effort into it. It wasn't like a true main event. Like it was just kind of last minute. So no face on the poster, no like special treatment. It was at the Apex anyway. So like just another fight. It ain't nothing crazy. I don't know. I don't really look too deep into it.
Yeah, well, one day I'm sure the face will be on the poster. You'll be having a lot of those moments here coming up here, probably in the very, very quick future. I'm going to predict for you, Brendan, because I know this is a great matchup for you stylistically, I feel like. But before we get into any more of that stuff, though, just want to stick with that last fight just because it was such a big win, too, to get your fourth win in a row, kick off the year the right way. How important was it just to start 2023 off on that big of a note?
It was big for me, like personally, when I look at like the grand scheme of things. Obviously, every win's great. Your next fight's always the biggest fight. So, I don't know. It was more confidence for me as a person rather than career-wise. Obviously, career-wise, it was great too. But to go in and beat the number 11 guy in the world that most guys didn't want to fight and then finish him, it doesn't really get too much better than that to start a year off, especially having the top 15 spot taken from me many times and not being able to fight for it, and just everything that's happened and accumulated over the years. So it was super, super good to start the year off that way and go out and perform like that.
And I'm glad you brought the thing up with the number, because we did so many interviews. We were talking like, are you going to get this ranking next to your name? Like, what's going on here? Now you finally have it. So I'm sure that was obviously an important milestone for you too.
I mean, it was kind of, the rankings are absolutely ridiculous, especially now. They used to mean something, now they mean nothing. You got guys that aren't ranked that fight 15 and get 13. You have guys that aren't ranked that fight number 5 in the world. You have just guys that are 14 fighting 15 and then go to 11 or 10 or whatever. So the rankings don't mean nothing. I finished number 11 and go to 12. So it really makes no sense. It's all like a popularity contest, and who knows who and who's popular and who's got this many followings. It really doesn't matter how good you are as a fighter. And there's no seniority, I guess you should say, or time put in, like how you have a guy with one fight fighting number 5, and just everything. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that, and that's a whole nother conversation we could probably have and get into probably for hours upon hours with that. There's been a lot of examples of that recently, but let's get into this upcoming fight now here just a little bit. So let's start here, right? So it was supposed to be Jack Hermansson. He pulls out of the fight. So just explain to everybody at home kind of everything that transpired with him pulling out, getting the new opponent, why you decided to stay on the card. Obviously, when an opponent pulls out, you have that option of not staying on the card. So let's talk about all that stuff.
I mean, yeah, they just called me and said he was out. I didn't even know why for a while. Then people told me his back or something like that. But then he was rock climbing with his girl or something. Someone told me. I don't know. I don't really believe it too much, but it is what it is. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Who cares? And then they gave me another opponent, or they gave me an option to stay on the card. Excuse me. And I didn't want to. Just because of the fact I was really sick. I was really, really sick. Trying to train properly for a 5-round, but I was still pushing through it because when I sign a contract, I'm gonna show up and give it whatever I got. But when the opportunity came up to push it back a couple weeks and be able to actually like heal properly and recover from whatever illness I was having and everything else going on, I took the opportunity to just take a couple weeks and fight whoever.
So now let's talk training camp here. Obviously, camp, as we're recording this, right, it's right before fight week, the official start of fight week. So camp is officially wrapped up. How was your training camp?
Camp was good. I mean, it was all right. Nothing special. Nothing. Wasn't the best camp. Wasn't the worst. But I did the best with what I had, and I just think I'm still good enough to beat anyone in the world, no matter what. Like I've invested so much time, so much effort into my technical abilities for a long time. So I think that pulls me through with almost any guy in the world. But I'm still going to go out there and I'm going to win.
And let's talk about your opponent now here. Just tell us about Bruno, what you've seen out of him, what you know about him, and what you're kind of expecting on fight night.
I mean, Bruno's going to come to knock my block off. That's a fact. There ain't no other way. Obviously, he can knock me out. Anyone can knock anyone out. But that's his best and only hope to beat me is to knock me out. Outside of that, he doesn't beat me anywhere because I can beat him striking, but I can get caught. I'm technically better, and yeah, I mean, I can wrestle better. My jiu-jitsu's better, my cardio's better. Every I'm better everywhere, but he can catch me. Any man can catch me. It's been done before, so um, I think the difference is like he's gonna be he should be a little timid to burst at me and rush at me like he does with a lot of guys because if I take him down and get on top, it's either I beat the hell out of him or I finish him. So that I know that's going to play in the back of his head that he's not going to want to rush at me too much, and he's going to give me that respect. Because if he doesn't give me that respect, then I'm going to take that respect. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have way more avenues to beat him than he does me. He can catch me and knock me out, but I can catch him. I can knock him out. I can grind him out, which obviously that's not me whatsoever. Or I can take him down and finish him. So it's just me being smart, me being focused, and doing what I do best.
And we mentioned before talking about the rankings and everything. I guess here's kind of a rankings question for you. Obviously, if you go out here, you get the win. You already have the number next to your name. That's going to give you 5 wins in a row. UFC record's going to be like 10-2. I mean, do you think the promotion's going to start getting behind you, give you some higher up guys? Like, what's kind of the thought process going forward here with all that?
I mean, yeah, for me, it was supposed to be number 10. I was gonna finish number 10 or beat him up for 5 rounds, whatever, but finish him was the goal. And then a top 5 guy or somewhere right around 6 or lower was the goal. And that's still the goal. I think that's still kind of where we sit with my team and my management. I go out there and beat Bruno. They treat me as if I just beat number 10. And yeah, I mean my goal was to fight what 2 and then a title. So this one more, and then a title shot. So what gets me there is beating Bruno and then fighting either the loser of Whitaker and Duplessis, which I think is going to be Duplessis, or get Cannonier since he just won last night impressively. So ultimately for me, I'd like to do that turnaround in October, but obviously I need to get the job done first for me next weekend or upcoming, however you want to look at it. I get the job done. I fight one of those 2 guys. I beat one of those 2 guys. I turn around next year and either fight a guaranteed contender fight or I fight the champion. They need new blood. I'm the new blood. I'm the youngest guy in the top 15, and I have some of the most fights as well. So I put my time in, and I'm only getting better. I haven't shown or I haven't shown everything that I'm capable of. So I think it's only right, and it only makes sense. And I'm ready for those steps.
And you mentioned kind of like the layout, like for the rest of the year, the way how you'd like things to go and everything. It's funny when you mentioned with Jared Cannonier, I don't know if you saw this or not, but like last night after he won, he specifically kind of said like, hey, if I'm going to fight, I want to fight somebody that's essentially a title elimination fight. I mean, do you think that kind of would make sense, the 2 of you, title elimination fight, winner goes on for the championship belt?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just do what my management and the UFC agreed to. I just fight. That's what I do. I'm supposed to fight whoever. I fight whoever. I'm supposed to win. I try my best to win, and yeah, I do. I don't cause problems. I don't make demands. I don't do any of that. I just go and fight. So I mean, I know the promotion likes me. Like I know like I have a good relationship with them, and I just got to keep doing my job. I don't really care what he says or what he wants. I don't care because if the UFC tells him he's going to fight, either he's going to fight or he's going to sit out. So it don't matter what he says, what he wants. Um, you do what they say because they're the boss. So hey, if they said you're going to fight Jared Cannonier and Jared Cannonier says no, well, all right, well, I just jumped you because I'm going to get somebody else, and then you're definitely not going to get the title eliminator. So, um, yeah, I just do my thing. I don't cause too much problems. I talk a little shit here and there, but I'm not doing none of this shit for clout or popularity or anything. I don't care. Like what? I got 30,000 followers on Instagram. That ain't nothing. It's trash. Like, yeah, it affects like endorsements and sponsors and stuff, but like, oh, whatever. I'm just supposed to fight. It'll all come once I become champion. It'll all come. So I don't care about the hearsay or wants or this and that. I just go and fight and I go and win.
Gotcha, man. And speaking of going out there fighting, getting wins, and all that, I do want to actually just end with one last, I guess, fight specific question before we move on to something else here, and that's about the gym down at Killcliff. Obviously, you've been there for a little while now. Just talk about everything's kind of come full circle down there because we mentioned before, right? This win here is going to give you 5 in a row. You have that great UFC record right now. Obviously, so much credit has to go to that gym and all the great work that goes on down there.
Yeah, we got great coaches. We got our room is what stands out from everyone else. I think the guys that we have, the quality of guys that we have, the camaraderie between we have groups within the big group of the gym. So the camaraderie between our little groups, and it's mostly weight classes. Obviously, the guys that you train with and actually, are putting in the work with is your group. So yeah, I think it's more of the guys in the gym. Obviously, the coaches are great, but the camaraderie. But I don't know. I just kind of do my own thing. I don't go to every single session. I don't know. I'm kind of an asshole, I guess, when it comes to that. I just kind of do my own thing and set my own camp, and I just kind of know me best. Like I don't try to take anything away from anyone. I just know me best, and I've learned me over time, and I know what I need to do to be to show up to fight night 100% prepared, physically, emotionally, and that's the selfish part of the sport is just doing what I need to do for myself because that's what pays the bills for my family, my kids.
Absolutely, man. And you've been nothing but honest with everything here throughout your whole entire career, the way how things work, the way all the different things behind the scenes and all that. So I always appreciate you, shining the light on that side of the sport that a lot of people don't necessarily always see there. One other thing I wanted to get your thoughts on, though, before we wrap it up for today. Obviously, middleweight division championship changed hands again with Izzy beating Alex Pereira. Just want to get your thoughts on that finish there.
Great finish. Great finish. Izzy's a great champion. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's very dominant. I have nothing but great things to say about him as a champion. Person, maybe a little different story. I don't know. I don't know him as a person. I just know what I hear. But as a fighter, he's a great fighter. He is a phenomenal fighter. Yeah, but Alex still got you 3-1. So, or what is it? Yeah, 3-1, right? Yeah. Alex still holds that crown over him. One knockout to what? 2 TKOs and a decision. He still got you, but it's still a great rivalry. They're both good fighters, and yeah, I don't know. I think Izzy's going to hold that belt for a little while, but in my head, obviously, it's and new in 2024. So that's the goal.
All right, man. And just got to note this, too, before we head off for today. At the time of recording this, it is Sunday, Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to you. You did tell me, though, off air, you're in Florida. This is a business trip straight up. Family's not there. So just how much are you looking forward to afterwards when you get to fly back to Louisiana and see the family?
Well, I drive home. I'm just ready to see my kids. I go get my kids Tuesday because I got to get my house together and go grocery shopping and get ready to have them back home at my house, and I can't wait. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see my kids, go take them to my brother's pool and go on trips and everything else. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to get home, and that's always the number one thing. I just try to think right now. I try to keep it out of my head that I'm supposed to be home right now with my kids because I was supposed to fight 2 weeks ago, but I got to do what I got to do to provide for them and give them the life that I want to give them. So it's all a sacrifice, and I'm just ready to see them. I can't wait to hug them.
All right, man. Thanks again for doing this. Appreciate the time as always. Last thing before you head out for the day, you want to go ahead, plug your social media so people know where to follow you at, management, sponsorships, any of that good stuff. Anybody got to give shout outs to or plug? Floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time. Thank you to my team at Killcliff. Thank you to my management at Dominance. And thank you to everyone that's supporting me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do my damnness to put on a great show. And that's kind of the focus for me this time, is just to put on a great show and get the W. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to Monster. Thank you to First Form. Thank you to everyone that supports me. I appreciate it. And tune in Saturday. I'm going to do some work.